Tuesday. It is the afternoon now of Tuesday, April 29th. Earlier this morning, I got into it about my mess up. I call them Michelle's fuck ups of the day. Excuse my language, but yeah, that's what they are. So yeah, I tend to have this trend of selling too soon. So I gotta learn not to do this, right? One day, I swear. Anyway, so yeah, Nate likes to say, just blame me. He's like, I take full responsibility for this. I'm like, no, sure, you influenced me, especially, from the previous one, CGC, good old CGC. But, he's not fully to blame for. I'm fully responsible for my own trades and when I buy, sell, all of that. So, yeah, no, it's not his fault, but I kind of do blame him. Man, it really sucked. So what happened this morning, pre-market? Okay, mistake number one, I didn't wake up before 1 o'clock, and I always do to get myself ready. Because 1 a.m. is like go time. If you don't know anything about the market and the time zones at which when things move, that's a really important thing to learn. Because at 1 a.m. here, Pacific time, oh yeah, I didn't say that in my first video. I'm over here in California land. So Pacific time is where I'm at and that zone. So if I ever reference times, you'll know that it's PST. So 1 a.m. over here is when pre-market starts. And that means that it is 4 a.m. on the East Coast. I can't tell you the exact times of like Europe and like Asia. I just know 4 a.m., unless brokers on the East Coast allow for pre-market trades, then it's just Europe that is trading right there, and Asia. So I have noticed a trend that those are some of the biggest explosions, I'll call them, to the moon. There is no halts, suspensions during the pre-market and after hours. So, there's no stopping it. It can do whatever. It is the most volatile time of the market, and it's one of the times that you can make the most money. I like to get in the after hours and out in the pre-market. If you can time that right, that's probably like the biggest spread. Or at least get in, before the market closes, and then hopefully catch the explosion that happens if there's like some kind of squeeze, news, earnings, whatever, and it goes up, and then pre-market is like second round of it, and then generally, depending on how big of a run it is, at market open, which is at 6:30 here, you will see a big drop, and that's because of, big gains made overnight. And so, yeah, imagine just like, like today, for instance, I have a stock that closed at X price and then I wake up in the morning at 6:30 and it's like 133%, you know, return. You're just like, whoa, sell, right? And that's what happens. So, that's what happened today with me and Logic Mark. So, I sold yesterday. Yeah. It went up, what was it? At most 70% or something like that during the day when I was like on the last video. And I was like, hold on, I gotta end this. So, yeah, so went there. I had this gut-wrenching feeling, like I said. I think I said this in the other video just earlier, the one previous to this, that, yeah, I had a feeling it was going to run again, and it did. And I should have just gotten back in and ran with it again. I just had that feeling because I've seen this in the past where if it runs like how it did yesterday and it closes there that high, that's like signal, go time during the, yeah. So I should have just remembered, like, just hang tight, ride this out longer, and then lowered my price, my sell limit. Yeah, because that thing went to 0.0327. Ouch. So I don't know if did I fully explain myself the one time before? I think I did, where, you know, I bought in at like 25, lowered myself down to like 20 or something like that, because it was like going down already, and I was all like, so, and then it kept dropping. Then it did this like big dump, and I was like, oh, and I'm like, ouch. I was like down 50%. Like, I don't know. I got this thing in January, and then by the time it was like last week or whatever, because it now went down like under a penny. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, went under a penny finally, and I was like, ugh. And I was just telling myself, like, just be patient. And when it got to under 10 cents, I was like, my girlfriend who gave me the tip on Logic Mark, she's like, it's gonna squeeze. And I was like, okay. She's like, you know, the people who own them, the big guys that own, you know, the bags. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. She's like, here's where their average is, because she had that information. And I was like, whoa, are you kidding me? I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then the, what is it called? The cost concentration. There's something, there's some other information where it basically tells you the range at which the stock should be at. So I was like blown. And then between that and then the average of, the average price that shareholders hold for, and I was just like, dude, this is almost like a no-brainer. Like, they're just shorting this. And just like what another friend of mine said today is that they just bled us to death and then like waterboarded us, which is what happened. You know, it ran a few times, but as soon as it went up, like within minutes, it was just like, and I was like, each time I'm like, oh my God, I should have sold. Oh my God, I should have sold. Oh my. So if you catch my drift here, this ran this time. That's why I had to get off of the video, because I was like, I gotta concentrate. I was like, this is happening again. I can't let this happen again, because I went from, I put in, what did I put in? $800 or something like that in this. And like, so I was like down like I was like down to $100, and I was like, at that point, I was just like, screw it, whatever. And that's the whole thing about trading, people. Um, you can't do this unless you're willing. You're willing to let it all go. If you lose it, that's why they call it a risk. It's gambling for sure. I just know from all the years that I have been trading, investing. I know those are two different words. I know people are going to be like, don't you know the difference between investing and trading? And I'm like, yes, investing, you hold long. Trading, you're mostly short. Like your swing trading, your day trading, that's the terminology comes from. So anyway, yeah, so when this thing exploded, I was just like, please let this be it. Let this be it. And so it started running after I pushed the button, and I'm like, oh, it beat the other high. And I'm like, oh, ding, ding, ding. Oh my God, this is the time. And so the other way that I know kind of when to get out or in, I do pay for the level 2 order book. So if you're a serious trader, at least like in the short term, that is so crucial to know when your exit strategy needs to be. Because when something like this happens, excuse me, you need to look at it, because you need to see where the majority of people are trying to exit, and based off of that is kind of where you keep shifting if you need to. And that's where I normally can capture nearly the top. This time I didn't, obviously, but I do fairly well with a lot of other plays, especially ones that aren't like that volatile. I can pretty much like nail it on the head, like top, bottom, whatever. Like I said before, I had Bitcoin's bottom, at least from what this, last month or whatever. So that's been awesome. I don't know if I said this in the other video before, but I pretty much, my girlfriend was like wanting to get into, I was telling her, hey, I'm going to HMR. You want to join me? And she's all, hold on a second. And then she's like, do you think it's going to go down lower? And I was like, yeah, actually it possibly can, at 268. And I was like somewhere like 268. And she's like, I don't know, she might have said okay or whatever. It was in the morning when I said that to her. At the end of the day, I nearly dropped my phone because it closed at 268, which was down from where it was. And I'm like, wow, how did I do that? I mean, I know how I did it, but I mean, I'll probably, that's definitely another day that I will go into that, in details. So yeah, that was just crazy. So, I did not do this right this time. I had Nate in my ear like, you should sell this, you're gonna miss your opportunity. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be wrong this time. I know I was right with CGC because I played them before. But I'd been in Logic Mark so long in this loss, and watching it daily, that I knew what was happening. But like I said, you never know if that is the time or not. And so I got out and I was like, please go down now. Please just sell off. go to the floor and then I'll buy it back. Yeah. Anyways, well, that didn't happen. It exploded. And I woke up late. Oh, that's where I was getting at before. I did not wake up at 1. I was so tired because I was up like almost, I was like 19 or 20 hours I was up for because of all of this craziness. And that's not always the case. I normally get like much more sleep than that. So anyway, I slept through my alarm. It went off. I woke up and I picked up my phone and the alarm was just like, it was just off because it ran too much and it just said snooze or off. And I'm like, damn it. And I woke up at 3:30 and I was like, when I realized it after I first went through the whole motion of like, oh my God, damn it, I woke up late. And then like seconds later, I was like, wait, what time is it? Oh my God, open app. And I opened it and I saw it and I was like, oh, this is painful. This is where this whole profit and pain comes in. Yeah, today was the pain. And that wasn't even it. So 3:30, I'm watching the damn thing. And I think I learned this today or yesterday. Someone in a feed, I was reading comments and somebody was like, burn all those shorts, damn them, they suck. And then somebody was all like, well, shorts don't exist in Europe. Maybe somebody can correct me here. If you're wanting to comment, by all means, correct me, whatever. It'll help me learn. We help each other, okay? That's how this works. So somebody was like, yeah, there's no shorts in Europe. And I'm like, is that why things explode the way that they do? Because there's no shorting? I mean, no. Anyway, so I don't know if that's... I'll probably do some research after this. So yeah, they said that. And so anyway, I'm in awe of what happened. I'm like, I'm all doing the math. I'm all, how much would I have made if I had stayed in? I really shouldn't do this shit to myself. But I do because I have other stocks I'm watching. So I might as well see what the fuck. And you know what? I couldn't even avoid it. You know why? Because it was the #1 trading stock of the day. It was the top gainer, and at one point it was also the most volume play of the day. It ended up over 2 billion in volume. Okay, folks, that is insane mania. I don't even know how many shares were traded today. If the whole float was freaking bought out, I don't know. I just know what I saw. And what sucks is I could have gotten back in and ridden it, but I didn't. I stood there like a deer in headlights, just like the whole time, all day today, just watched it. It got worse from like 3:30 when I woke up. It dipped actually, and I should have bought that dip. Nate and I said we're gonna make a freaking bumper sticker that says buy the dip. Where's my chips? Or at least buy the dip part. But man, I should have bought the dip. It came back down to okay, wait, so it exploded. It went to like the 0.017. It went to 0.2022 at 1 a.m. time, and then it came down when I woke up. It ended up coming down to like 0.018. And I was like, oh, I should buy there. And I seen how it was like right there in that area of support, that was where it was based off of other indicators. I was like, oh my God, should I buy here? And then I was like, I don't know. I was just like, it was one of those moments where you're like in denial. You're just angry. You're bitter. you're scared because if you go back in that stupid thing and it goes down again and you lose more, oh man. So I was just like, nah, fam. And I've told myself, and I've learned this before, where after I've sold, sometimes don't get back in that same thing because you're getting greedy at that point, right? And it comes to burn you in the ass real quick. I've learned this. So most of the time I'm like, okay, just next, don't do anything the rest of the day. Just kind of wash it off, collect yourself, go back to your fundamentals, look at what you did wrong, learn from that mistake, and try again tomorrow with a fresh pair of eyes, rested. You're not doing this. What was I calling it the other day? I called it something. Anyway, it's not important. It's like retaliation. Because what I have done before is, I jump into another move because I'm desperate. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta get my money back. I'm all like, there's no way. And then, that's the ultimate goal anyway, is to recover my losses if I have made any losses, or just just make gains, period, whatever. So I've done that before where I've immediately just jumped into another trade where I'm all like, oh, this looks good, or this one's running. Let me go into this one. And then I'm all like buying the top or some stupid thing. It's better off I just wait for the next play. Likely I'll do a better job that time around. So I just said, wait, I'm going to just, what it does is what it's going to do. But that was my mistake, because why am I just sitting there on the sidelines just watching everybody else make their fucking money and capture this? Like, I just had cash sitting here. It's sitting over here in this bucket saying, play. I'm ready to play. Hi, Tess. Say hi. Oh, yeah? Uh-huh. You ready to make some money? Profit and pain. So, yeah, there was definitely a few entry points I could have gotten in, didn't. Actually, even by the time the market opened, right? And it was open at so it hit, what was that, 150% in the pre-market? Bullshit. After a while, after I was done frozen from the whole pre-market, I'm like, oh God, what's going to happen now? It gapped up huge. What should happen is maybe it's going to try to push again to go, because after it reached that 150 and it dropped to 133%, it was bound to maybe try to retest that top again. It was, but it couldn't. So it came back, and because the perfect scenario is that it was going to fill that gap and then bounce back. And that's exactly what happened, folks. It went down to that 0.018. It was wild. It went from 0.032 to back down again to that 0.018, and it bounced. It ricocheted back, and I was like, son of a gun. So I tried waking Nate up at 6:30 because I knew he had cash too. I was all, wake up. But I wasn't like, wake up, get up. That's what I should have done. Because I've done that before. And that was with his own play, because I was like watching my stupid logic mark going down, and he was sleeping. And he was in a play where he bought the top. This was funny. He bought the top, and he had done this before. So he was like, he bought the top, and I was like, you did it again. Why did you do that again? You don't learn I'm like, stop by the damn top. You get this FOMO and you just like, let me get in. And I'm like, no, no, no. I always tell him like, don't buy that. No, not right. I was like, I mean, it looks good. And then I shouldn't even say that. I'm like, shut up. Don't tell him about that. Looks good. Fuck. Um, he's like, I gotta get in. He's like, it's gonna go higher. And I'm like, it could, but you know, it doesn't, there's not much of a spread. And and we'll go into spreads later. Because sometimes it's just not worth it. You want to only get 5% after it's been like running like 100%. And that's all that's left over. No, I want to go somewhere else. Sorry. I mean, I'm happy with any money that I make, but if it's going to be that risky at the top, no way. You don't want to be a bag holder. That's what they call that. You don't want to be a bag holder. You want to take those bags and run. So, he bought the top, and then like it came down like significantly, like almost unrecoverable, like mine. I was like, damn, you just lost almost everything. What'd you do that for? You didn't even like sell to get yourself out before it like tanked. And so it exploded. It was like 1 o'clock, and it was like, it went poof, and I go, no way. And I'm looking over, I was like, this freaking idiot is sleeping. I jumped up out of bed and I go, get up. I was like, you need to change your cell limit. I was all, get out, because you're breaking even. I was like, there's no way it's gonna like, and it didn't. He got out and he made like $10. It was the stupidest freaking flip, and it literally went, and I was like, oh my God. And thankfully he got out. But man, I was like, don't you ever do that again. Stop sleeping through pre-market. Especially when you're in something, don't do that. Because we're in these like high risk, high volatile plays. You can't do that. Cannot. Can't sleep on your hands. So yeah. Going back to Logic Mark exploded. I tried waking him up. He didn't want to wake up. And I was like, I was so down. I was so down that I just like was like, well, fuck it. I was like, you don't want to get up? Whatever. I was over it. And I don't know. I want to say that I am now, but you should have seen me earlier, because after that, when he finally got up and he took a shower and it like fully hit me, because like, so I ended up being a total of negative 500 or something like that. Like only got like 290 back. Ugh, painful. Whatever, at this point, I'm over that. But I could have gotten like 300. What was it? $305 extra had I just waited. That was the exact top though. I probably wouldn't have gotten the exact top, because that's so hard to do. Because like when you're up at the top, if nobody's buying that top, it ain't gonna fill. So, most of the time I'm like, I'll watch it, and if it like doesn't, and it's like tries a few times and however, yeah, I'll just like lower it, and I'm like, get me out, and it'll fill, and it's like, bye, see you later, thank you. So 300, whatever, the last $5, maybe it would have been like 290, something like that. Within that range, I would have probably gotten. So that was just, you guys, that was brutal. I ended up bawling my eyes out, like ugly girl cry. Like, I'm in shock, guys. You guys don't even understand. And the fact is that, okay, so it came down. It never went back up. And it did come back down under my price that I sold for. So I was considering maybe buying back. I don't know. Is that stupid? I don't know. Because here's the thing. I'm afraid that it doesn't go all the way down the bottom and it hits that support. If that, I have to look again if that is the support, but I want to say that is. And then it goes back up again. and then it goes to my price, my cost basis basically, or my average, and it goes beyond that. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do if that happens, you guys. I'll definitely cry. I know that much. I probably won't do anything other than that, to be honest. But dude, that will not be that's not okay. I'm gonna have to. It's gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to be okay with that if I don't get back in it. I think the only thing I'm gonna do is if I see it in my radar again, because I don't want to get in and then it's gonna like do this like dance and this like, oh, let me go ahead and manipulate it. They just manipulate the heck out of that stock. It's so bad. My girlfriend, she was like, I've never, in all the years I've been trading, and she's been trading for about the same, like, well, 5 years or maybe longer. Well, 5 years, whatever, with me at least. She's like, I've never seen a stock do this before, where it goes under a penny and it's still trading on the regular market. Normally NASDAQ, isn't it NASDAQ? NASDAQ has that rule. You can't be under a penny. You can't be under $1 for however long. I forget what it is. But yeah, you've got to be, and especially once you get to the like under 10 cents, there's like for 10 days or something like that, you can't be under for that long. And so it had been that long already, and I was like, and then it went under a penny. And when it in Weeble, when it goes under a penny, folks, you can no longer buy. I tried buying and it's like, nope, it's under a penny. And I'm like, oh, you can't buy under a penny over here? I'm like, oh my God. But I thought they had some OTP stocks that you could buy. And I'm like, is it just because like they allow those ones only? I don't trade those ones yet. I did one time, but I fucked that shit up. But I only put like, I think $30 and I was like, screw it. God, I don't know. I actually like just ignored it. I don't even look back. I wonder if that ever even did anything. God, wouldn't that be funny? Like go back and I look like, and it's like, it's been like 5 years. And that'd be funny if I go in and I'm all like, oh my God, my $30 turns into like $3,000. I'm gonna like lose my mind. I actually think I have to contact Charles Schwab because they notified me. They're like, your account's deactivated. You need to contact us before we send your ass to the state to claim your funds. And I'm like, what? My like buck that I probably have? It's like crypto. Oh God, that's gonna be a subject that we talk about another time too. So yeah. I made a rookie move and I made a mistake of selling too soon. And here's the real rookie move that I wanted to talk about, and the main reason I wanted to talk. Now I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time because I really don't want to like talk for hours, and you guys don't want to hear me blabber my blabber mouth. So I don't utilize stop losses. Being stopped out when you shouldn't have placed it that high, that's not fun. Because then you're like, what did I do that for? That was stupid. I feel like that's for like, I don't know, never mind. I don't even want to open my mouth because you guys are going to cream me. I just watch it so often. I'm like, why do I need a stop loss for? Well, duh. In the event that it all of a sudden just like, it's all, it's like that. It's like Price is Right. You guys ever seen Price is Right with that, all I can think of is that and it's that freaking game where the man is climbing the Alps or the mountain, and it's just like when you're gonna guess the whatever the price of something, and you gotta make sure that man doesn't fall off the cliff, right? And if he doesn't, then you win. Hey Tess, stop. Oh, I got my cat eating random food. She's hungry. Oh, I have to wrap this up quick because my kitty's hungry. So anyway, It'll be like that sometimes. It'll be like, and then all of a sudden, it just, whew, like humongous just cell volume just bite down. And you'll be like, and you're all like trying to get out, and it's all like going down so fast that like you can't even like get out, because if you didn't have a stop loss, then you're just all trying to change your cell limit, or like you're just trying to put in, I mean, you try to market, sell, and just get out. You don't even care. Just get out. Get me out. Right? I like, I do the limits because I like capturing as much as I can correctly as possible. And that's very dangerous to do, especially in those moments. Otherwise, it's pretty, I can pretty much capture the price I'm wanting. So yeah, I didn't have a stop loss. And so Nate was telling me while I was like, he's like, sell it. And I'm like, oh God, you're telling me to sell it again. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? So I'm looking at it and I'm all like, my heart's like, I can't concentrate. I can't talk. I'm all like, I'm frozen. I'm staring at the screen. I'm just like, what do I do? So then he's like, well, make sure this time though, because, I don't want to be wrong. And again, like I was yesterday or Friday with CGC, and, and maybe you're right. And I was like, oh my God, wouldn't that be what if this is the time? And then he's like, and here I am getting my cell limit put together. And I'm all like, and he's like, oh no, all I can remember right now is him just barking in my ear. And he's literally like right here in my ear. He's all, just put a stop loss. Don't sell. Stop loss. And then I was like, no, stop. He's all, stop loss. And I'm all, no. And I'm like, I hit the button. I get out. And he's all, why'd you do that? Why didn't you listen to me? And so, yeah, the end of the story is I didn't listen to him. I should have. Folks, learn how to use a stop loss. Yeah, it will save you in the event of losing more money. And I could have just put the stop loss and just watched it and just seen what happened. I could have just woken up late to my alarm and it would have just been fine. But I didn't do that. And so now here we are, and I sold, and it is what it is. So that is what I wanted to share with everybody, so that you guys can learn what not to do in the event that this happens. So I want you to win as much as I want to win, but tomorrow's another day. We will see what I can do. Oh wait, I forgot. I did actually what I said I shouldn't do, is go into another stock. But I've been watching this other one for a while, so I know it's like time anyways. Cross my fingers that I'm right on this, but this is a micro float, low cap. So this is tricky, because that can be really tricky to time right. Only not just because of the whole like explosion factor, but when it's a micro float like this, and there's not a lot of people in there, you might not get your order filled, but we'll see. I've done this before. It's fun. So cross my fingers that Wheeler is the one. It actually, when I got in, I got in at $1.17. It went up to $1.22, and then it went under. It was like $1.14, I think, and then it went back up, and then it kind of traded sideways. And then it did dip down. I don't remember where it closed, but it did dip a little bit under me. So that sucks, because that means that I'm losing more of the money that I just recaptured. Don't want to do that, but I'm pretty hopeful, knowing some of the Wheeler people, the potential it has, what their financials, and I think I remember reading something about their earnings. But anyway, y'all can do your own DD. And so anyway, we'll talk more about things. Tomorrow I will try to talk a little bit more about the general market. Thank God Nvidia came back up, because it was like, what was it, at like 108, I think, when we opened, and then, or 10, yeah, and then it like went 106, and I was like, what? That, I was like, okay, whatever. Or what did it do? 105? 104? No. Now I'm getting lost. But anyways, it went down, and then it like went up to like 110. Now 106 again. I don't know. It's like up and down. It's going back and forth. News about AWS with Nvidia today. So I thought that was gonna make it go boom, boom, boom. I think that was part of the boom. Anyways, we'll talk more tomorrow about the market and what is going on, and other stock plays I'm in. But I hope everybody has a good night, and just remember, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. Please play at your own risk. I'm still learning this, so but you know what? We're gonna do our best. So we'll see you folks tomorrow. Well, if you enjoyed my video today, please hit that like button and subscribe. I really appreciate it. So tune in for more.